Okay, so I'm here wearing some very fetching dungarees because tonight is our first work in progress showing of our new show, Hollering Woman Creek, at Bristol Old Vic, and it's part of the Bristol Old Vic Ferment new writing strand that they do here. The show is got me, I'm Amy Mason, I'm a writer and performer, and Megan Henwood and Jackie Oates, who are both award-winning folk musicians. The show arose out of some labs that I did called Body, Brain, Bingo with the theatre companies Edu UK and UCL Culture. And the aim of them was to get scientists and artists to work together on projects. So I started doing the labs and I got introduced to a scientist, a researcher, an epidemiologist, I learned that word, called Dr. Irene Petersen. And one of the many things she researches is mental health medication use in pregnancy. And it started me thinking about my own experience. So I was on some mental health medication called lamotrigine, which is a mood stabilizer. And when I was pregnant, I was advised by my GP to stop taking it because of the risk of birth defects. And it had a really negative effect on my mental health, stopping it so quickly. So I started talking to Irene Petersen about that. She's actually done some research about how actually 4 in 5 women who are pregnant stop taking their mental health medication. Well, in that case, in that piece of research, it's SSRI antidepressants. And no one really follows those women or finds out what happens to them afterwards. And obviously, there's a really high risk of postnatal depression, which is what happened to me. So I was really interested in talking about this more. And I realised that my experience wasn't unique and that perhaps it was worth making a show about. The show is sort of framed by a trip to Texas that I took, where obviously women's rights are under attack. There's a big sort of war on abortion in Texas currently. So it's sort of set over the week when I went on this research trip to Texas for my new novel. And I just come off the lamotrigine and my mental health kind of really suffered. So really what I'm hoping to achieve is I hope other women maybe don't feel so alone. I'm talking about medication use in pregnancy, mental health medication in pregnancy, which I certainly haven't heard anyone else speak about. And I'm hoping to signpost people to Irene's work, to help people become more aware of that you can actually continue taking mental health medication in pregnancy. Because actually, I should say one of the most important things I discovered is that despite what my GP told me, there is no evidence that the particular medication I was on causes birth defects. But there is sort of continued misinformation sort of given by GPs and a lot of scare stories in the media that sort of cause women to stop taking their medication. And also, I just hope it's a fun show. Really, it's quite a dark it could be quite a dark subject. So, but I think we've done some really great stuff. There's some really, really beautiful songs. There's quite a lot of jokes. I can't help myself. There's always jokes in everything I do. Anyway, I hope it goes well tonight. Thanks.